Hello, everyone. My name is Leanne Morris, and I am one of your graduate assistants for this semester. I'm a fourth year PhD student in gifted and creative education. My research focus on equity, diversity, and inclusion in gifted services. So I wanted to kind of start out with something kind of fun. I came across this very funny picture of me back in the day with my roommates. So if you notice at the very top left, that is me back in the day at Boggs Hall. I will not tell you the year, but that's just me and my roommate being kind of silly. I'm absolutely passionate about teaching and learning. Notice the other pictures. These two here are what some of my favorite students. And then I have had the wonderful experience of being able to teach teachers and teach administrators and work side by side with DOE and district level staff and creating plans and that nature. So I'm absolutely passionate about working with educational systems. But I'm a teacher and a mentor at heart. And finally, I'm a mother of four. My oldest is 25 and my youngest is 4 years old. So, yes, quite a gap and lots of fun to share. So just to kind of give you an overview. So yes, I'm super excited about having the opportunity to kind of teach, partially teach this class because I love creativity. I believe in it. I breathe it. I try to engage in creative activity as much as I can. But looking back on creativity and what I know now versus what I did before with regard to my daughter who is now in the 10th grade. Her name is Gabrielle. So she was tested for gifted, and unfortunately, she didn't pass. I would say the creativity piece. And I wish that I had pushed a little bit more. Like I said, I was a parent, didn't really know about the process, but my daughter is absolutely gifted. And now, when you try to push her toward the services, she doesn't want to talk. She doesn't want to be in gifted, and I'll talk about that on a at another slide at a different time. But anyway, so just again, just kind of sharing my perspective, and I hope to kind of engage you all in that conversation and thinking about what we can do for parents and help them and helping them be able to see those creative positives at home, and then for them to be able to engage us as educators in a way that we can kind of see those creative strengths through those conversations that we are able to create with those parents on that level. So moving forward and thinking about my 4-year-old son, I definitely am seeing some creative talent that I hope to share with you over this semester. I've taken a couple pictures to kind of see what you think. So again, kind of leading the work and thinking about parent engagement and what you all can do or we can do as educators to kind of encourage the eligibility, the eligibility and the enrollment process. And, rooting for the underdog. I'm absolutely passionate again about the underserved. And one other thing that I'd like to share is engage you all and using some Bitmojis, kind of have some fun in the discussion. I think it kind of just kind of livens it up a little bit. And those are super easy. You can just kind of right click and add them to any of your discussion posts. But I thought that would be pretty fun to use. So let's see. So my very last slide, just a kind of just an overview of my overall interest. At the very top, just sharing some of my artwork. I mentioned on the other slide that I'm super passionate about engaging in the creative process myself so that I can have a good understanding for students or be able to explain it better. So I encourage definitely you all to do that. So that's just a piece of artwork that's not finished. And those are actually like wood pieces and a couple of leather strips that are kind of put into a 3D background. And just going back again to my overall passion about engaging in topics on diversity and how important it is that you all are able to see because at the very, if you see, you'll notice over here on the right, this was at my front door. So we can't live in our society and close our eyes and act like racism does not exist, which is why it's so important for you all to use your voices to advocate for those students and for those and helping those teachers in your building buildings to be able to see all of those creative talents and strengths, because we want our classrooms to look like the one down there in the bottom left. This is actually a picture taken in a very poor Title I rural school, but this is a gifted class and it can happen. Those kids were highly engaged in what that teacher was talking about. And lastly, I just want to leave you with this special note. So these are just some artifacts from a class that I taught. So I taught, most of my classes were in special education, but I want to kind of just direct your attention to this very last note here, right here. It says, I became a special educator to help students that are in disproportionate representation. Many are placed but are gifted, but because of behavior or other issues, I just want to ensure that they get the best education possible. And I hope that over the course of this semester that you will then be able to use your voices and advocate for looking at the creative strengths of students. Thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you all this semester. Bye-bye.